All right, everybody. So thanks for joining in on the podcast today. So today we have Cole Hibbert, and he was one of my clients a few years ago that um, was one of kind of the early adopters into the identity creator course. And it was really special to get to kind of work with him um, as I was kind of dialing in that program. And um, I know you had a pretty good experience with it from everything we've talked about, and I really wanted to kind of share that with everybody that is in my following. So I guess to start, I wanted to give you a chance to just kind of explain where you kind of played, how kind of your junior career up to this point kind of played out, and kind of give people an idea of just your overall experience with hockey and from there.
Will do. So for me, grew up in Markham, Ontario. So when my junior career began, I started in junior C. I was an underager, started at age 16. I did that for a couple seasons with the Georgina Ice and then the Little Britain Merchants. After that, when I was 17. And then that year, I graduated high school. And then a buddy actually got me into the NA3. He was already playing there a year prior. And so he said, hey, you should go to like an NAHL combine, see what's up. And so I did. Didn't get any offers from them. So I went to the NA3, got a few offers, and then I found that the best fit was at the Skylands Kings in Stockholm, New Jersey. And so I played there the 2018-2019 season and then 2019-2020. So for 2 seasons. And then, had a good experience, especially playing Wise my second year. And then since then, I haven't touched the ice since, but yeah, it was good times there at Skylands.
Awesome. Cool. Yeah. Well, I think it was pretty sweet to have gotten to work with you like right at the end. And it was your last year that we worked together, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
So I guess to start, I'd love to hear kind of before we're obviously gonna focus on the identity 2.0 stuff and really have a focus on kind of sharing that experience. So before you kind of worked with that program, what were you experiencing in terms of kind of psychology, and what would you say some of the issues you may have been issues facing, or just things that you weren't as strong as you wanted to be?
Um, I think stuff like confidence, a lot of anxiety before. Um, Part of it, like just a multitude of things. There's so many things going through my head before a lot of games. Um, I'll take you back like a little bit further. When I was probably 17, I remember it was almost like OCD. I'd get into the change room, and then getting dressed before a game, I would think to myself like, okay, like I have to make sure everything's right. My mental's right. My stick, my everything. I remember tying up my skates and then thinking, oh, if they're too loose, like maybe I'll hurt myself, and then I'd untie them, retie them again. If they're too tight, maybe I won't have enough flexibility. Like all of these things going through my head. Sometimes I retie my skates 3-4 times, just because the anxiety of it, blowing it out of proportion, kind of. So I mean, different things like that. Again, confidence was an issue. Worrying about um, turning over the puck if I had it on my stick. One thing was I never wanted to let my teammates down. Like it's a team game, obviously. And so games are won by mistakes. And so I never wanted to be the guy to be that mistake. I never wanted my teammates upset at me for something that I done to cause a goal for the other team. So I think stuff like that, those are a few big issues for me.
Got it. Cool. Okay. So, and as you kind of face that stuff, I know that when we, when you began the course, what were some of the things that you kind of initially kind of got from it that you learned and maybe kind of made an impact right away?
Um, well, before the course, that previous year, I had been doing meditation. I had been trying different things to lower my anxiety, keep me calm, try and visualize and that mental imagery, all that stuff. But I think the second year going into the course, when I first purchased the course and going into it, I thought to myself, like, okay, I made an investment in myself, like, and from that moment, I felt confident that like that year, like I was playing well, or from with my standards, playing well, no matter what, so going into that course, I liked how there was a progression to it, there was an order, and like different meditations, like there's different stuff you can focus on. You can focus on imagery, affirmations, just like a whole bunch of different stuff. So to have something that had order and progression to it, I think helped. And then being able to, I mean, it's been a while since I've used it in my playing days, but like the feedback loop, right? So being able to go back and then reaffirm the things that you were going through. So to have that specific like place where you can then go again in a cycle and just stay there and not really have to worry about switching things up dramatically, just only making minor tweaks within the progression or order. I think that's really helpful from the course.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's sweet. So yeah, so as you kind of did that and you started to notice how the progression was working and helping, and then what were some of the things that some of the results you got like within a kind of short time, I'd say, as you started to do it, I guess, as you kind of went through, let's say, the first few weeks and then kind of coming out of it? What was your experience?
I think going into it, well, it took me a while to be able to get through like the entire sequence, because it's very detailed. But I remember going through it, just clarity. I felt like going through, I had focus as to what I was doing. When you're meditating on your own and you're trying different things that you've picked up from elsewhere and you're piecing them together, you don't know exactly how it's going to work. You try and convince yourself it will, but you're never 100% sure per se. But I think having confidence in that, knowing that you've like spent a lot of time putting into it, like hard work, and being able to structure it through research and all that stuff, going through it, I felt like I had a focus, like there was a purpose to it. Okay, now I'm doing this, then I'm doing this, then I'm reading over these once I've done my breathtaking, that kind of thing. I think that I got used to that, and being able to have a focus as to what I was specifically like meditating on or focusing on.
Got it.
Yeah.
That's great. And then when you started going through the season, what were some of the things that were different, maybe in terms of being able to maybe manage stress, anxiety, anything like that? Like some of the kind of core results you found?
I think through the season, like the biggest thing was fun. And so as much as the course may have helped, I feel like till this day, I was thinking about this a little while ago. Like I can't put my finger on what percentage of what made that season. I
Right.
think part of it was just me clicking with the people I was around. Part of it was me being a year older and having more experience and being settled in my environment, right?
Yeah.
And then part of it, could have been like the meditation and things like that. But from it, I just felt like everything was fun. Like it felt like a cycle. Like I would go into games, like play well, and that would be fun. And because I'm having fun, I'm eager to score goals and make plays and, like finish my checks and all this stuff and play well. Like it just went kind of in a cycle like that. It was just like overall just so much more fun, playing better and then just feeling good too while doing it. So I think that was like the biggest difference from year 1 to year 2.
That's awesome. Yeah. And obviously there's never going to be one thing that causes it's always a multivariable result. So yeah, I definitely want to make it clear for everybody that it's definitely a mix.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So but yeah, so that's great. And I know that was one of the focuses that you probably came into the program with, is like expecting that it's a focus on increasing performance, but ultimately it's allowing you to be able to actually step in and enjoy the process of playing.
Yeah. I feel like if I could describe it in a way, it was just loosening up.
Right.
It was being able to be not so like tight ridge, not so what's the word I'm looking for? Not so like pessimistic, I'll say, in terms of consequences if meditation didn't go right, or if something on the ice didn't go right. You know what I mean? It was all in flow. It was fun with the people I was with, my teammates, my peers, fun for me. But yeah, it was just like loosening up. I feel like that's the best way I could describe it.
That's awesome. Yeah. And that's
Yeah.
I know that's a pretty common experience for a lot of people who do any of this work, is just feeling this kind of the veil lifted off of what it means to just be able to relax. I think a lot of times we think that we have to try and we have to do all this, like, just I'm just gonna relax. I'm just gonna find a way.
Yeah.
Right. It's such a paradoxical thing. And I think a lot of times people don't get a lot of exposure to ways to do that and then progressions to allow you to slowly get better at it.
Yeah, for sure. I think, yeah, it's weird. It's like the harder you try, um, being able to be calm sometimes, the less effective it can be, because you're so focused and on this ideal about where your mind should be. And anytime it's not there, you get down on yourself because of it, instead of just kind of, I don't know, I don't know how to describe it, just being able to be like calm and okay and just, have fun while doing it. So yeah.
Right. Yeah, I totally got that. Yeah. So, and I do remember, and obviously, again, not direct credit, no direct correlation, but I know that you were able to actually make the league all-star game as well that year.
Yeah, thanks. It was that was fun for me. It was nice to be able to see like my hard work and everything that happened, like play out into fruition like that, and to be able to go to that all-star weekend. Um and yeah, that was a lot of fun. I felt like leading up to it, um, I felt like that's where I belonged, not to be cocky, not to say that no one else deserved it for sure, but it's just like going into it, I was like, okay, like, I've had a good season, I've played well, and like, this is what we're doing now. And like, I feel good, I deserve to be here, I should be here. And like now let's perform well in this setting. So I feel like it was a big mental shift. It's not like, um, you know, I was thrown off, and I felt like I didn't belong there, didn't belong to be, seen as a certain thing. But yeah, I felt like it was good. It was good to be able to feel like I belonged at
That's
that
awesome.
setting.
Yeah, and to bring that up, and I guess to bring up for anybody who's listening to this idea of, I think a lot of players run into kind of imposter syndrome sometimes, where we almost feel as if it's going to, like, we're going to get found out that we're not really as good as wherever we
Yeah.
are. And that's one of the main things that I really try to, like, press in throughout the early parts of that program is, again, like, letting go of that lie that we tell ourselves, and realizing that everybody is not sure. There is no way of defining where you're supposed to be, what league you're meant to be in. It's, you have to believe that you have the ability to grow and to perform wherever you are, and just allow the skills you've worked on, odds are worked on your whole life, to come out.
Yeah, I think that sometimes we can be attached to like the tangibles, like, oh, so and so plays here, like, oh, I play there. And then we kind of build an identity based around what league we're in, or where we're at. So I think that breaking those is, it's hard, but it's really important, because that can really harm oneself, because I remember for me, looking at certain teams that I want to make or try out for, I almost like over glorified it, as if like I didn't deserve to be there, but I wanted to, so I think breaking that down and just being like, I'm going to play and I'm going to play well, and then wherever I end up, just through hard work and like putting the work in, I feel like that's the best way, and just being able to detach from those tangibles and like, all that stuff.
Yeah, for sure. And it's just funny you say that, because and obviously feel free to disagree with this, but I almost feel like it would have been awesome to have been able to work with you on this stuff just like a little bit earlier in your junior career, because I think letting go of some of those kind of self beliefs or kind of lies in your mind might have been able to kind of open you up to unlock that awesome performance you had that last year even earlier, kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't regret anything, just because I think I tried to work hard, and no matter what stage, no matter whether I was successful or not, no matter if I was using the right tools or not.
Right.
But yeah, that'd be nice, and to be able to kind of have that mindset earlier, see how far I could go at this point. But yeah, nonetheless, it was a journey. I think, maybe some of the failures that I had at 14, 15, 16 mentally, transformed, and maybe what led me to take mental training and meditation and affirmations and all that stuff so seriously going into that season. So yeah, it would be nice, but no regrets, no regrets.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, definitely nothing like that. But no, I totally get that. And I think to kind of close off the conversation and to really kind of sum up your experience, like what would you kind of say to somebody who's kind of looking at this work in terms of whether it's my work or even if it's kind of this more focus on figuring out the identity, figuring out the mental stuff and adding that into your game? Like what would you say?
I'd say if they're listening to this conversation right now and they can see themselves in me or what you described as well, different, imposter syndrome and different things that players go through, that it'd be a good fit. And I say that because, a lot of players have this idea of what they can be and this idea of, where their potentials and where they should be, but their behavior on the ice isn't in accordance to it. Right. And so being able to shorten that distance and so that the player that they are is a player that they want to be, I feel like if you're in that boat, this can help and this can take you there because it just provides that order, that progression. And it's like there's a progression to it, so it's like you can build on it. It's not like, like if you're just doing it on your own or just random meditations that, it doesn't work and then you're lost. With this, it's like you can build and build and see where you went wrong if that's the case, and then just, being able to again shorten that distance from where you are to where you want to be, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I totally agree. So thanks a lot for coming on, Cole. I really appreciate you sharing kind of your experience with our work and then also just your things you've learned along the way. And I think that can help a lot of young players who are still kind of maybe in the position that you were when you came into junior hockey and dealing with those younger ages. So anything else you wanted to add or feeling good?
Um, I like the way the conversation went. I'm feeling good. Thank you for having me, and I wish the best of luck to any players or anyone in the hockey world that's watching this and can take something away from it. So yeah,
Awesome. Well, have a great day and thanks for coming on.
you too. Take care.
See you, Cole.